Hi there, welcome to video C. This is the content video, and having read the portfolio content handout, as I'm sure you had, you know that you're pulling it up here and it will link to your desktop to give you a PDF that talks about what is included in your portfolio. Your portfolio is the culminating work of the semester. You're going to make decisions about what your best products are, and you can choose from analytical responses or the three major essays. And these then, you can choose 2 to 3 of those pieces and a cover letter that you're going to write to talk about your writing and about yourself as a writer. Your pieces that you include have to include sustained substantial analysis. This is always when we were talking about topic proposals and things, when I was steering people away from purely informative writing, where I was asking you to do analysis, and that's one of the requirements for the portfolio. At least 2 of the pieces that you have in your portfolio will include outside sources, although in your case, even if you include an analytical response, you should include the authors that you're talking about in those analytical responses. So all of your essays or your pieces that you submit will have sources included. You do have to include in-text citations and the bibliography. A reminder to everyone, I mean, your They Say, I Say book has the great chapter on incorporating quotations and paraphrases. And then also don't forget about the links and the resources to the Purdue OWL on MLA formatting and how to use quotations, and it gives example papers and essays on those things. So review those too for the finer details of incorporating your sources into your paper. Your portfolio has to be between 14 and 18. I might have said 16 in my earlier video. We raised the upper end on this to not restrict people so much. But this 14 to 18 does not include your works cited page. I mean, your works cited page will be included in your portfolio and will be numbered, but it doesn't count as a page in your text count. So it's only pages of text that actually count here. And if you have a half page of text, it's half a page. If you have a quarter page of text, it's a quarter page. So please don't get in the habit of thinking that just because you filled, a portion of a page, that actually counts as a full page. Those will be added together and combined when your page count is taking place. But you do have to have at least a minimum of 14 pages in order to have your portfolio accepted by the committee. If you have a single space page, which would be the cover letter for your portfolio, those single space pages count as pages and not as double spaced. And here's a nice checklist here with your cover letter. There's additional information about your cover letter. This is about your content checklist for the portfolio. So double check this before you submit to make sure you have all those things included. And your portfolio cover letter, which is how you're going to sort of introduce your writing to the committee. You're going to talk about your skills and your challenges and what you accomplished this semester as a writer. In that letter, the committee wants to see you making decisions about your writing. Like, well, how did you come to this? What did you improve? What feedback did you get from peers? How did you incorporate that? In what areas did you strengthen your work during this semester? And in doing this, you're going to write a 2 to 3 page long letter, and it's going to include analysis of the material in your portfolio. I always recommend that people begin their portfolio cover letter just as they would any essay or other piece by actually having a paragraph or 2 of introduction, talking about yourself in general as a writer and about what you've accomplished, maybe what high school was like for you as a writer and what you learned when you got to college, maybe 1 or 2 specific things that you gained over the course of the semester by improving and revising your work. And that way we'll have sort of an introduction to you before you then move into talking about the different pieces that you've included in the portfolio. In doing that, I also think it's important when you're talking about your essays or your analytical responses that you're including to make sure you don't need to summarize them in great depth. What the committee is looking for is analysis of these pieces. What are you saying about these pieces that will help us to better read them? How did you strengthen them? Do you have a particular skill that you're showing off in one of the essays? Okay, so each essay or piece that you're including in the portfolio is going to be provided, you're going to provide an analysis of that piece of multiple paragraphs in length. And make sure when you're talking about your portfolios, if you say that you've gotten really good at using descriptive language or having clear thesis statements, then quote yourself. That's sort of, it talks here about giving specific examples from your submissions to illustrate your claims. If you claim something about your writing, refer to something from one of the essays specifically. Talk about your writing process. Discuss how you integrated research and sources. There's a whole list of things on this page for the cover letter content that will be helpful for you in developing this submission. And I think that the way to think about it is just to always remember that your reader is the portfolio committee who wants to know about you as a writer and how you've developed this portfolio over time. If you're concerned about the choices that you're making for a portfolio, please let me know. If you have questions about exactly what it is after looking at this, I'm happy to respond to those as well. Keep reviewing these things, keep revising, and don't forget to watch video D. Bye-bye.